You know, I'll say this, man. You go to Goodwill, like the Goodwill is kind of like is the gateway to the bottom. Like that's the bottom. Like if you shop at TJ Maxx, you're gonna one day end up at a Goodwill. That's just how it works. If you don't know what TJ Maxx is, that means you probably shop at Ross. And if you shop at Ross, I mean, they don't let you in TJ Maxx or Goodwill. You got to go just to Ross. And it's a mess in there. It's a mess. I think you should go to Goodwill and be able to take your shirt off at Goodwill and then just leave a shirt there. Just a little swap, little friendly swap. You're like, look, I didn't put on deodorant today, but it's going to be fine. But no, you got to pay for a shirt, which is, you got to pay for clothes at Goodwill. Then you go on to Goodwill and you're like, I'm going to pay for this. Somebody threw it in the trash and Goodwill came and picked it up in a special truck, and I'm going to now pay for this with a little blue gun enhancer thing that they put on there for the pricing. I'm going to go up front and pay for it. And then you can go up front and they'll ask you to donate and raise up, go up. You want to donate to the feeding of the children or the hungry? And you're like, nah, dude. You're like, I just spent $18. I think that's enough of a donation for today. I don't know, man. You ever go to lunch with a fat guy that doesn't eat a lot? You ever do that? That's a lot to deal with, you know? You're like, I took my best friend to Olive Garden. He's overweight, and I don't mean by a little, I mean by a lot. You know, it's like that aunt that you have when you're at, you know, you go to your Thanksgiving dinner, and we had this aunt, she would walk in and sit down like she had just walked a long ways. She would just sit down on the couch in the dining room or area or whatever, and she would just sit there. And you had thought she had walked a damn marathon. I mean, she used to be a smoker, and she's on an oxygen tank, but that should not account for the amount of shortness of breath that she would get walking 18 steps. It was unbelievable, man. She'd get up from the dining room table after eating about 12 deviled eggs and a couple of pieces of pie, and she would go sit down in the living room in there, and you'd have thought like she was about to, like she'd gone a long way. She made a day trip out of walking, but she just walked about 7 steps and she goes, I got to sit down a minute. You're like, oh, you got to sit down? You just stood up. Have you ever noticed how old people sit like all the time? They're always trying to find a place to sit down. I've gone into places with my old aunts and uncles before, and they were like, we're not going to go here because we don't have a place to sit down. You're like, you got to sit down that much? How much you sitting down out here? You're always sitting. My grandfather used to just sit in his car. He'd just sit in there and just hang out in his car. He'd be like, I'm just going to sit in my car a while. I like the way this seat feels. Man, we just out here sitting, dude. The older I get, the more I realize people just like to do a lot of sitting out here. They're just sitting. Everywhere they go, they're just trying to find a chair. Wonder if I can sit here. Wonder if I can sit there. I need to sit in this chair right here. It's unbelievable out here. I don't know. There's not a lot of chairs at Goodwill, though. I'll tell you that. You can't go to Goodwill a lot. That's the thing about Goodwill, man. You'll be at Goodwill I went with my girlfriend one time, or my wife, or whatever you want to call her. I don't like to call her my partner because we're like 48. We're not in business together. But I don't like calling her my girlfriend either because I feel like I went and bought her somewhere like Vietnam or something. It doesn't feel right. I just call her my wife now. We're not legally married, but we're married enough. I don't like those loud cars. They can get over themselves, dude. That's insane. We don't need loud cars. Loud cars out here, that's one thing that should have gotten rid of during COVID. It was loud cars. They're not necessary out here. They're not a big deal, but they're not necessary. I was talking about my girlfriend. I was talking about being fat, taking your fat friend. My aunt was fat. She was a big lady, and she was always sitting. She was always sitting down. My aunt grandfather sat in the car. And then you ever go to, like, I took my best friend. That's what it was. I took my best friend to the Olive Garden one time, and he was a big fella. He didn't miss a meal, you know. He was that kind of guy that would like, he would sit down and you would go, and it took, you know, he would be real upset about himself for sitting down because it took so long, and now it's going to take him even longer to get back up because of how he sat down and what kind of chair he sat down on. Because sometimes you get these big fatties, dude, they sit back in a real plush couch. They're not getting up for a while. I mean, that's a that's a full day's work of getting up out of a big old couch for a big one, for a biggin. They got to really lean into one side. They got to roll up like Humpty Dumpty after you just fell off the wall. It's wild out there, man. You can't be, being overly obese, you just got to sit on a metal chair. You should have to take a metal chair with you wherever you go. Be like, man, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you're going to have to sit in a metal chair. It's not too tall. It's not too low. You can get up pretty easy from it. You're not going to break it because it's metal. Like, I just need you to carry around, instead of a backpack, fat people should have to wear a fold-up metal chair on their back. That's what I'm saying. He went to Olive Garden with me. My buddy did. He's a big fella, dude. My big fellow friend went to the Olive Garden with me. I called him up because what he does, I'm going to lunch. I said, you can meet me there if you want. He said, sure, I'll meet you there. And I was like, I'll buy. And I was like, damn, I can't believe I said that. I cannot believe I just told a big fella I'm buying lunch at the Olive Garden. They got those $9.99 lunch specials, you know what I'm saying? But he's not going to get that, probably. He's probably going to get something else. He's probably going to, get everything on the menu. He's that guy that sits down and doesn't even order anything. He doesn't get anything at all. He's that fat guy you never see eating in public. That's what he is. He's just a guy that's just like, no, I'm not hungry tonight, man. Knowing he's putting about 4 or 5 breadsticks in his pocket and going to the bathroom and eating them like a heroin addict trying to do heroin in between sets. It's unbelievable. He comes back, he's like, I don't think I'm going to eat anything tonight, Then I said, well, I'm going to be here a while, man, because I ordered the all-you-can-eat shrimp scampi. That's a hell of a deal, isn't it? Just all you can eat. I mean, who determines that? I mean, why are we having restaurants out here that are all you can eat? Do we need to eat all that we can eat? Is that really necessary? And we have like a guy that instead of a waiter, he's like a coach. He's like, that's not all you can eat, man. You need to eat more than that. That's not all you can eat. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty full, man. This guy, you're gonna get at least 2 more plates of shrimp scampi. I'm like, yeah, but those shrimp, dude, they're so little. I don't trust them. Are they freshwater shrimp? Because they don't look like saltwater shrimp. You ever get those little bitty shrimp? You're like, man, y'all didn't even let them guys become teenagers, man. These are just little babies out here. These are just aborted shrimp. I don't know if I trust them. I don't trust a little shrimp. I'll tell you what else I don't trust. I don't trust a frozen shrimp that's been breaded. I think it's the bologna of the sea. I think if I guarantee you that's minced fish mixed with some kind of damn shrimp flavoring. I guarantee you that's what it is. The hot dog of the damn frozen sea section, I'll tell you that. The sea section and the frozen section is all bologna of the sea shrimp. That's what I'm talking about. But he didn't order anything. I ordered that shrimp scampi. I sat there for, I guess they made me eat 2 extra bowls, so I think I ate 6 bowls of shrimp scampi that night. I had diarrhea for 3 days. I mean, that stuff came out of me thinner than the vinaigrette at the damn Olive Garden salad. Unbelievable, man. I couldn't believe what my eyes were beseeching upon me. It's one of those Dumb and Dumber shits, too, a couple of times, where you get the chills, You ever get the chills while you're taking a shit? You're like, what the fuck? I should be getting the chills doing this, man. Disgusting. You ever try on a pair of pants at Goodwill and you're like, I wonder who's shitting these pants? It's unbelievable. When you really think about it, somebody probably shit in their pants and you're wearing those pants right now if you bought those pants from Goodwill. It's just a fact, dude. We all shit a little. We're all little shitters out here. Just shitting a little bit at a time. Shitting air pockets everywhere. And a lot of people don't think that farting is a big deal, but I think it's just oxygen doo-doo. It's just air molecule doo-doo out here that's floating around, hitting us all over the face and the cheeks. I mean, it's the original airborne virus out here. It's probably how AIDS got started, was that you just had a bunch of dudes farting and they swallowed fart air. You ever swallow fart air, man? I wouldn't want to do it. We probably don't know it because it probably loses its potency. So you probably can't taste it. I can taste a fart. You ever tasted a fart? Not cool, man. Tasting a fart, pretty bad. You know, if you have a friend that's pretty big, that's, you know, does it, that secret eats at the Olive Garden, and y'all get back in the car, and he puts a silent treatment fart on your ass, and you know it burned worse than 3rd-degree sunburn and a jellyfish biting you on that same spot kind of burn fart. I mean, that fart that's hotter than a $2 pistol, man. I mean, it's a fart that you're like, dude, I didn't shit, but my underwear might have a hole in them. That's how hot the farts get. And you get a big old fat guy that does that fart, bro, you can know you're going to have to burn that car. That's never come out of that. It will never come out of that seat. That is some vile, that is next level fart. It will not, it's in your pants forever. The DNA never leaves your britches, son. It will never leave your pants. And that's where we're at with everything. I don't want you to fart. I don't care if you fart. But if you're going to fart with a pair of pants on that you know you're going to give to Goodwill, you should take those pants off. Don't leave those pants on. Take them off. Excuse yourself to the restroom. And like, you got to go to the bathroom? No, dude, I just got to go fart because I know these pants are going to go to Goodwill in about 2 years. And you got to stay the course, you know what I mean? You got to stay the course. You can't be going over to your aunt's house on Thanksgiving and wearing those slacks that you don't wear but once a year that are one a day going to go to Goodwill. You can't be sitting on the couch watching the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions play football and then all of a sudden go in there and go start to tooting on your aunt's couch with those jeans on. You got to go upstairs, excuse yourself, take those pants off and put on a pair of sweatpants that you brought and go, oh, I'm so full I got to put on sweatpants, but also I don't want to ruin those pants. When you go to put stuff away at Goodwill and donate it, you should have to ask, has these pants been farted in? Because if they've been farted in, man, we don't need those pants at Goodwill. We don't need them there. It's like the couch at the hotel room, dude. You know that thing's been farted in. That thing's been laid up in. You know, I don't want to even talk about the bodily fluids that have been on that couch. Why is it there are couch covers on couches in hotel rooms, by the way? I mean, what are we talking about? The most disgusting, it's got to be top 5 most disgusting things that human beings do and don't even think about. They're like, yeah, I'll go sleep on a stranger's bed tonight. It's insane. I know every comic has talked about that. I'm not really into that, but like I would go to like out of town with my friends and they would get in a hotel room and they wouldn't even pull back the comforter. I'm like, dude, you are disgusting. Like I bet you have an STD. If you're laying on the comforter without any kind of protection, bro, you getting an STD or you already got an STD. You can't just get out here and start squirming around on a damn... You can't do that. That's crazy talk, man. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe that you're going to sit here and fart in public. You ever been with a woman that farts in public? What the hell is wrong with that? I was dating a girl one time. I don't even think I was dating her, really. I just think we were with a group of friends. And there was a girl that was with a guy I knew, and the guy was, you know, it was like their second or third date, and we went out to dinner. We went and had a couple of drinks somewhere or something. It was like 6 or 7 of us. And we were just doing a little bar hopping, you know, when drinking was cool. And we get out of the restaurant. It's, you know how you stand around people and it gets quiet, like everybody will be talking, it'll be loud. And then it'll be kind of quiet for a few seconds, you know, because everybody's conversations end kind of at the same time. And she, right when that silence hit, like she didn't think it was going to get quiet, I don't think. And she let out a fart, a little toot, a little pretty good toot. Not, I mean, just a, you know, like a loose lip toot, you know, the kind that you're like, oh, you don't have a lot of flat, you have a lot of loose skin back there. It's funny. Sounded disgusting. Then after a while you can smell it, and I don't know if you've ever smelt a woman's fart before, but it is like a woman scorned. It is not good. I mean, you can definitely like really feel the pressure when you start to smell a woman's fart. You're like, did you eat a dead cat? What is that? A woman's fart will scorn and burn your eyelids and eyeballs right off. But if you take her to an all-you-can-eat scampi place at Red Lobster or Olive Garden, which is the same thing essentially, you can have yourself a good life. Keep her happy. Take her to Goodwill when she wants to go, but just don't do crafts with her, because it's dangerous to do crafts with somebody that you bought somebody's trash at Goodwill, and now you're going to end up at home painting something. Anyway, it's getting dark in here. That's all I'm going to do for tonight.